Welcome everybody to my channel. My name is Dax. This is Encrypted Angels Nursery, and today we have a special guest. And would you like to introduce yourself, my special guest?
Hi guys, it's your girl Christina with Cuddles by Christina. And thank you for doing this with me, Dax. I'm so excited.
You're so welcome. I want to thank you for reaching out to me to do this collab. So to explain a little bit to you guys what is in store, we both sent each other some happy mail, or I like to say angel mail. And spoiler, we are going to be twinning our Maggies. Yes, so we're going to be
There she
twinning our
is.
Maggies. And I do have some very special questions, but we'll get into that. I'm going to be interviewing our very special guest. And yeah, so all right, let's go ahead and dig into it. Should we just do it at the same time?
Yes, let's
All
just,
right.
yeah.
Okay. I can't
It's like
hold it this
Christmas.
high while I'm opening it, you guys, but
I know I
I'm
can't either, but we'll make do.
yes,
We
opening
will
it.
make do.
I'm
Okay, let me get
opening
rid of the
mine
big.
from the side a little bit here and then pull it out very, very carefully. Aww.
Oh, thank you for the sweet little note. Yay.
Looks like you included the same thing. Here is a card. It's kind of hard to, my light is so bright. There we go. Here we go.
Okay, I'm gonna pull out the outfit last.
Yes,
So
I agree. And let's see, I'm gonna go ahead and can I read the inside as well? Can I say
yes,
that? Okay.
you
So
sure.
first it says, thank you for all the kindness you bring to the world. And it's this beautiful card with a sunset. And then on the inside here, I'll go ahead and read it. It says, Dear Dax and Ken, right? I am so happy we are able to do this collab together. You have been such a wonderful support to me ever since my channel began, and I cannot thank you enough. Aww. You are seeing a bright light. I love you. Oodles, Christina. So love Christina. Aw, so sweet. Thank you so much, Christina.
You're
And I'll go ahead and
welcome.
let you can read mine as well.
Yes. Okay. I was going to say, I have your little note here. This is Christina. I hope you enjoy the special gift I handmade for you. I'm so excited to do this collab with you. I've learned so much from you, and I can't wait to do this interview. Thank you so much for reaching out to me. Let's get this started. Love that. Yay. And this amazing homemade gorgeous. And the camera is like so not picking up all of these great details, but this amazing
That first
stuffed
paper was like a
journal.
wrap, and but yet it's an
But it's
extra
still
piece
so
of fun.
pretty.
Yes,
Exactly. Yeah, it's
extra
so
piece of
pretty. Oh my gosh. So this is going to be a whole different a whole separate video so I can like really go through. This is amazing. So and I even got some glue sticks so I can have fun gluing in my little journal decks. This is amazing. I'm just gonna quickly flip through so you can get an idea, but this is so cool. This is so cool. Thank you so much. I absolutely love it. Oh, and look, there's some people we can glue into.
I was gonna say
I love
on that same folder on
it.
the very last, there's this like envelope thing. Go ahead and pull that out. I would say this is where showing the viewers. So go ahead and show.
Stop it.
Oh, you found those. Yes.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that is beyond amazing. Oh my God. I'm like trying not to cry. That is so freaking cool. I can't even tell you. Oh
Okay,
my
so yes,
gosh.
go ahead and show that piece that you're holding.
Yes.
So go ahead and
And
show
can I
the,
open it? Wait,
yeah.
oh yeah. That is love. Oh, and it's like a tea party in the back. And
That's made from
then
a junk envelope.
Wow.
Yes.
And then beautiful, more vintagey um pictures here. Oh, I wish the camera could like pick up better all these cool details. Like the lighting is not my friend, but you guys get it. You guys get it. And then oh, how fun is this? Oh my gosh, I love it. I absolutely love it. I'm gonna have so much fun doing stuff in here and journaling. Thank you.
Ah, you're so welcome. You're so welcome.
Because we talked about junk journaling and how I really haven't um gotten into it yet. So this is a perfect way to start. So pretty. Yay. Thank
Ah,
you.
you're so welcome. You're so welcome. So yes,
I
lots of
didn't
goodies
include
in there
anything as cool. I mean, yours is
for
way cool.
you
I just
too.
threw in a couple little things.
And you'll really like the little things that you can pull out at the very beginning of the thing as well. So just saying,
Yes.
oh, look at this. Follow your dreams. This is so cute. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, this is perfect. This is perfect, especially for a junk journal. Look, you guys, it's like lined paper. So,
That's what I
hi,
thought of.
I'm recording.
I'm sorry,
It's
Hi.
okay. Have a great day.
we'll do. Let you know. It looks like it's gonna rain, okay?
Okay. So yeah, it's this is let me get it in the shadow a little bit. I have a lot of lighting going on, but it's lined paper. This is perfect. Oh my gosh, I love this. Love it. Perfect. And there are some magnet pacifiers. One is again the color, the lighting is not. Let me see, can I get it? There we go. It's
Yeah,
pink.
that's better.
It's pink. The top of it's pink as well. It's just highlighting it. And this one is white, but it's not like that bright. Like I can't, there we go. It is white, but it's not, it's not fluorescent.
No,
Oh my
not at all.
goodness, what is this? Oh goodness. Okay, so hold on. Let me show you guys. It's again, this lighting. I am so sorry, the glare. It's like this little package of things. So, of stuff. There's like a little tiny baby in here. There's like this little itsy bitsy bear in here. Look, so
It's a silicone
cute.
baby.
Is it? Oh my
It's
God.
a little mini silicone and her little mini crib.
Oh, I'll like do a video of showing you guys all of this and putting this together and that. Okay, so should we show the outfit?
Yes, I think so.
Okay, so here we go. Please make sure I'm not showing anything. Go packing.
So cute.
Oh, you pulled
With
yours
the
out already.
pumpkin.
Let me do that. Yes.
All ready for Thanksgiving.
Yes, we are changing our Maggies into this.
I love the bell bottoms.
I know, right? And then it has
So
this
cute.
hair tie, which I have not been the best at tying bows, but we will figure it out. I've got Christina with me. We'll get through it.
Yes. This can be pretty tricky, but yeah, we'll see.
All
We shall
right.
see. But yeah, so Maggie's been in, this is more a spring outfit in her butterfly. So it's time to get more seasonally appropriate.
Aw. So mine's still in her outfit that she came in, unfortunately. She hasn't even been changed yet.
Oh, poor
So
thing.
I know, right? She needs to be changed. Okay. So I'm setting all of the goodies aside. Thank you so much, Christina. I love all
Oh,
the
you're
things.
welcome.
So, all right. So, okay. I'm gonna go ahead and grab Maggie here. So, would you like to introduce what your Maggie's name is?
So, her name actually stayed Maggie. So I decided, I don't know, I looked at her face and Maggie kind of fit her. So she was originally, she originally belonged to Sandra over at Sandra's Frozen in Time Reborns, and Sandra was kind enough to let me adopt her Maggie, and so she was Maggie in Sandra's nursery, and so yeah, so this is Maggie.
Aw, that's awesome. Awesome, awesome. So very cool. And I have not done a name reveal for this one yet. And I decided, y'all know I love a play on words. So you ready for it? Her name's gonna be Sue Wheat. So,
I love it.
yes,
Love
Sue
it.
Wheat. So it'd be, and I will put it on the screen, but it's S-U-E, Sue, and then hyphenated, Wheat, W-H-E-A-T. So Sue Wheat.
Because
I
her
love
face
them double
is
barrel names
sweet.
and I love play on words.
Yes. Love that.
Okay.
Perfect.
So I'm going to start with my interview questions for you as we start
Yes.
getting our Maggies changed here. And let's see. So my first question is, well, we know your name's Christina, but what's your name and how old are you now? Whatever you would, again, it's as much or as little as you would like to share. If you want to, whatever you would like to share.
I'm an open book. I have no secrets. Yes, my name is Christina. I am 39 years old. 40 is fast approaching. It's very scary. But yeah, I will be turning 40 on March 6th.
Alrighty, let's see. There we go. All right, thank you so much. And what do you do? So, like, what do you do for work? Do you work or are you a full-time content creator? What do you do?
So I am a customer service representative for the John Gore organization, which is Broadway across America. So basically, I am a part of the subscriber hotline for season ticket holders who have tickets for shows that tour all around the country, all kinds of different cities. So Broadway Across America has at least 40 different cities that we have touring shows in. And I am the front line in customer service if people need to exchange tickets, add tickets, change their subscription, whatever they need. They call us and I pick up the phone. So it's a really great job. I've been there for about 8 years now. I did work at, their office is in New York City. So I worked in Times Square, but then during the pandemic, when we were working from home anyway, I decided to move back home to Florida. So I asked my boss if that would be okay. And he said, well, yeah, as long as you can still answer phones. So I am lucky enough to be able to work from home ever since the pandemic.
Thank you so much for answering that. That must be, I just can imagine that that's just such an awesome career to have. I mean, I'm sure I'm probably romanticizing it a little bit, but How exciting, such creativity, like being around all of that creativity and performing arts. My sister is also in theater arts as well, and she's done a little bit of everything at this point. Okay,
That's
so
awesome.
my next question for you is uh, when and why did you start collecting dolls?
So I have always been a doll lover my whole life. I just was always playing house. I loved baby dolls. And it really stems from my grandmother, who had a huge porcelain doll collection. So I just remember, every time going over to her house, her entire living room was her dolls. Like you didn't sit in Abuela's living room, it was for the dolls, and everyone knew that. So I just remember, I would just stare at all her dolls, and I knew to be very careful with them, but I loved them. And so when I was probably about 7 or 8, my mom started my own little collection. I would get a porcelain Ashton Drake doll for Christmas and kind of slowly built up a porcelain doll collection. But I just love all kinds of dolls. I always have. I was that kid who, I would always stuff a pillow under my shirt or my dress to, look like I was pregnant, and house was just my favorite thing to play. So yeah, it's been a lifelong love of mine.
Ah, gotcha, gotcha. Alrighty. And let's see. Next question is, well, I kind of thought you would mention something else about why you collect dolls.
Okay,
Uh,
so you want me to segue into that? Okay, so we
yes,
can do that segue. I
please.
wasn't. Okay, cool. So yeah, so that started my love of dolls, but really, once I was a little bit older, I was diagnosed with a genetic condition that meant I wouldn't be able to have my own kids. And I knew that meant, I wouldn't have a traditional path to motherhood. So dolls just really became important to me after that age, after learning about my infertility.
Got you. Thank you so much for answering such a personal question. And this is why we are here today to talk more
Yes.
about Turner syndrome and what it is and what it's like with the person who personally lives with it. So, okay. Um, I th- you covered this a little bit, but let's go ahead and just cover this again real quick. I hope everybody can hear me okay. Uh, how old were
Yes.
you when you were diagnosed?
Yes. So I was diagnosed with Turner syndrome when I was 10 years old. So I was always uh, kind of sick as a kid. I always had bronchitis. I always had ear infections, always in and out of the pediatrician. So when I was 10 years old, I had another case of bronchitis, and my mom took me to see this new pediatrician who took one look at me and asked to see my mom outside. As you can imagine, that would be pretty scary for any parent to hear the doctor say. And so the doctor asked my mom, well, how long have you known Christina has had Turner syndrome? And my mom goes, what the hell is that? She had no idea. None of us have heard of it. And this doctor basically said, well, we'd have to run, a blood test to confirm. But just looking at me straight off the bat. He said she has 7 or 8 physical symptoms, like just looking at me for 5 seconds. He's like, yeah, we need to look into this. And so that was sort of where it all began. Just this one new pediatrician knew enough to look at me, which was interesting because nobody really thought much of me being so short because my mom is little. So they figured, short mom, short baby, it's genetic. But it's interesting because there are more and more cases of girls being diagnosed in utero with Turner syndrome. So I was a little bit late in being diagnosed. Some women, unfortunately, are diagnosed later than me in some cases, but yeah, it's getting to be more and more early, fortunately.
Thank you so much, so for answering that question. And I was gonna ask that as well, like if that was an early age or a later on age to be diagnosed, but you already answered that, so thank you.
Yes.
Let's see. Another question I have because well, anyway, I'll just ask the question. I know Turner syndrome often affects depth perception, and I was wondering how this affects not only like daily life, but also how does this affect visual arts? So in both like maybe looking at visual art or making it, including writing, painting, drawing, things of that sort.
Yeah, great question. So, in terms of just daily life with depth perception, I mean, it doesn't really, it just basically just means I'm a klutz for the most part. Like, just banging into random things. I'm pretty klutzy. And, it's something you learn to deal with. So not that big a deal in terms of day-to-day life. So in terms of like writing, drawing, so the manual dexterity for holding pencils, markers, paintbrushes, all kinds of things, that is somewhat more of a difficulty. Now, my handwriting is absolutely awful. Which is part of it. Like I do love to write, but like when I try to handwrite things, yeah, I really have to concentrate to make it legible. So it can be tough in terms of, you know, creating visual art. For the most part, it can be difficult to just the dexterity, for the paintbrushes or pencils, whatever you're using to create your art. Yeah, definitely tricky. Usually not our forte for women and girls with Turner syndrome. We are more verbal, we're great speakers and reading, but in terms of like handwriting and visual arts, it's definitely tricky. I don't think there's much that it affects in terms of viewing, though, if that makes sense. Yeah, I don't think that really changes how we view or necessarily perceive art that we're just looking at per se.
Thank you again so much for answering these questions. It's very interesting how it doesn't affect viewing it per se, but making it the dexterity for holding, as you said, holding a pencil or a pen or markers even can bring about some difficulty and struggles. So interesting. Um, and on another note, since you've described yourself as a theater junkie in the past. So on another note, I was wondering, how does depth perception affect stage performances for you or other people with TS? And because it's for those that don't know, the drop off at the end of the stage into the orchestra pit, sorry, could be pretty steep, sometimes 15, 30, 50 feet, and I've heard of even deeper ones than that. So that can be a really big fall and very dangerous to anybody that is performing on that stage. So how does theater performance or how does depth perception affect theater performance?
Yeah, great question. So, I performed, in high school. So, I mean, I can't speak to like professionally or like Broadway performing, but I will say that when I was, in shows in high school, um, really because we we rehearse so much, and because our drama teacher, the director, would, you know, always be looking and like correcting me, like, "Oh, Christina, move to your left or move up here, move to like," because she was able to give me verbal cues to like where I needed to be if I was off. It really wasn't too much of an issue. So as long as I am being, guided and told, where to go, after, rehearsing so many times, then it does kind of stick enough to where when you're actually performing for an audience, you're good to go. You know where you're supposed to be, where you're supposed to stand, and all of that good stuff. So, I really just rehearsing and really rehearsing over and over again, and being, guided when you're off is really what made it easier. How it didn't really, um, I wasn't worried about falling into the pit per se because I had, my other classmates and my director and everything looking out. So luckily, no accidents occurred in high school.
Oh, good, good. I'm glad, I'm glad. So, and that's really awesome that you had somebody to kind of help, let you know, like, hey, we need you a little bit more this way or that way. So it definitely helped avoid any kind of accidents.
Exactly.
So, very cool. Okay, I'm just gonna show the progress of our Maggies. I wasn't sure if the bow, okay, so the bow does
Yes,
go in the front. I thought
it
so.
does. Yes. The little tag is in
So
the back.
I
Yeah.
will, her hair will be fixed with bows and stuff, but we'll get to
Yeah,
that.
I'm trying. Yeah, I'm a little nervous for that. But yeah, still plenty of questions to go. So,
All right. So the next question, by the way, this is where my Maggie is at. I haven't finished the bow on her hair, but it's a work in progress. Oh, you
so
did
I
such a
made
good
it
job.
so I made it more a headband instead of a bow. I just tucked it under, like I just knotted it at the top.
Oh, that
Um,
is a really clever idea. I'm gonna
and I
try to
think
do
it
like
looks
a
cute like that.
bow. I don't know how
Yeah.
well I'll do. I might end up using your technique. We'll see. We'll
It's
see
worth
what
a try.
happens.
Yeah.
Okay, so my next question for you is I love the quote that you said in the interview with Butterfly Banter about if you're uncomfortable with their doctor, that it's okay to get another doctor, that you are the one in charge, and no one knows your body better than you. So I was wondering for our viewers who may be discovering that their child is TS, or maybe they're discovering their TS for the first time, are there certain questions or signs that you look for personally that might tell you, ooh, this is a red flag or this is a really good doctor?
Yes, great question. So yeah, it's always tricky in general finding doctors that you're comfortable with and you can click with for anything. So just to quickly go back a bit, just to make sure I am explaining everything clearly to our viewers. So Turner syndrome is a random genetic abnormality. So there's nothing that either parent does to quote unquote cause it. It's not related to age or other environmental factors. It's a random genetic mutation that takes place at or just after conception. where one X chromosome is either partially missing or completely deleted. So in my case, I am what's referred to as classic Turner syndrome, meaning every single one of my cells is missing that second X chromosome. Other friends of mine in the TS community are only missing part of their X chromosomes. So it is a wide range. So that's important for doctors to realize that it's not one size fits all for TS or for anything else, but especially for a condition like Turner syndrome. So I can't tell you how many times I've had a doctor say, "Oh, what is Turner syndrome?" Like they didn't even know. So that is a pretty big red flag if they don't know what you're talking about when you try to explain your medical history. Um, Definitely run into that a lot, and it is slowly changing. I feel like it is getting better, but I would say that the main thing is to find a doctor who is willing and able to point you in the right direction if they don't have the answers that you're looking for. Um, to have a doctor who's not just going to, prescribe something as just a general band-aid solution without any follow-up. Oh, yeah, okay, you have TS. Yeah, I studied that in med school. Here's your estrogen and you're good to go. Like a doctor who really will listen to your concerns, first of all, make sure you are being heard because every body is different. And what affects one woman with TS will not necessarily be a concern to someone else. So, a doctor who is willing to say, okay, that is not something I necessarily have the most knowledge or expertise in, but I can refer you to this specialist who might be able to give you better answers. So that is super important. A doctor who is willing to go that extra mile to refer you to where you need to go and not just have a blanket solution, so to speak. So make sure that you are being heard, that you're just comfortable. I'm talking to any doctor because if you're not comfortable, then you're not going to really give all the information that is needed to get you the best care. If you're embarrassed or nervous, then it's it's going to end up being detrimental to your own health in the long run.
I agree so much. And I've had my own difficulties with totally different things, not with Turner syndrome, but with different things altogether. But yeah, so true. And I've encouraged people to do the same, that if you're not comfortable, you are the one in charge. Seek another, and you can interview that doctor, because in the end, you are the one in charge. You're the one paying them, whether you're paying out of pocket or your insurance is paying them. I go on a whole soapbox.
Absolutely, because you don't work for them, they work for you.
Yes,
That's the
yes.
important thing to remember always.
So I did decide to go with your method, the tie at the
Yay!
knot. I
Isn't it
tried to do the
cute?
bow, but I did not have enough length at the end to do an actual bow. Not with her head. Maybe on a smaller baby's head I would, but not on hers.
Right.
Um, but yes.
But yeah, I think
So
it looks cute.
I think so too. Oh, you put yours in a ponytail in the back. How adorable.
Yes.
I left hers out, so I just left hers out long.
Oh, I still have to pierce her ears. I forgot about that.
I have not done that to a baby yet. I have not done, I've thought about it, but I have not done that to a baby yet.
Oh, it's so
I,
easy.
have you done a tutorial about that before in the past? Like how to, I know other people have, but have you personally done a tutorial how to pierce a doll's
Actually,
ears?
no, I haven't done an official tutorial just because I get nervous. I don't feel like I'm the expert, but it is super easy. So I could definitely, work on one if it would be helpful to you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Perhaps with whether you feel more comfortable now or in the future, video idea.
yeah, awesome. Well, thank you for giving me that confidence.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So the next question, we're gonna get a little bit, well, definitely a little bit more personal. So what has been your personal hardest struggle living with TS?
Yes, so definitely dealing with the infertility. Um, with the deletion of the second X chromosome that affects your reproductive organs. And so, unfortunately, that does lead to infertility. Now, some TS women are fine with that part of it. They were never, interested in being moms or anything like that. So that doesn't bother them. Being short bothers them more. Now, I'm only 4'11. Being short doesn't bother me at all. So it is different. But yeah, the infertility, since I was always that girl who played with dolls and loved babies, I always just assumed motherhood would be easy for me. So when I was looking into the possibility of going through IVF with my husband just to see what our options were, unfortunately, my cardiologist would not clear me to even attempt IVF. Basically, I was told I would have a 50-50 shot of surviving childbirth if I were to attempt to carry a baby. Um, they could only give me, a 50 shot of making it out alive, which is pretty terrifying. So my husband and my family were like, no, we don't really like those odds. That's kind of scary. If it's 50-50, like don't do it. So that was a tough pill to swallow because technology has come so far in terms of reproductive health. I'm like, no, but I could try and I could still be okay. Like, I might be okay. And they're like, yeah, but you also might die. Like, no, that's not that's not a risk you need to take. So it was really tough, especially when my friends are having babies and my siblings are all having kids. It's it was tough when even that avenue turned out not to be a possibility. Um, it was very, very tough. And I had told my husband, it was like our second date, about my infertility, just so that we were on the same page. And to his credit, he handled it amazingly. He said, it doesn't matter. We'll do what we have to do to become parents. And he was totally on board with it. So I'm very grateful for that that support. So yeah, so the next step that we can try would be surrogacy, since caring would be too risky for me health wise. But of course, that has its own challenges, financially as well as emotionally, physically. So it's a journey. It's a journey for sure. And hopefully, I'll be able to share some good news about that journey with everyone on my channel one day. But yeah, it was very tough hearing that, even IVF, trying that because of my congenital heart abnormalities, just was not going to be possible.
Thank you so much for sharing that. I know that got really deep and into it. So thank you so much for sharing something so personal with us. So it really helps everybody learn about this and learn about the struggles and know what they are. Um, yeah.
Thank you for letting me share. It's definitely helpful to, be able to discuss these things because, of course, infertility happens to many, many people. It's not just a TS thing. I know, there's other people in the Dolly community who have other various, issues with fertility. But yeah, I just want anyone to know if you are struggling with that, you are definitely not alone.
Thank you so much. So, all right. My next question here for you. We've touched on this a little bit, but I was going to see, again, share as much or as little as you would like, of course. Uh, how does, how do dolls, help you and how can they help others with TS?
Of course. So, even though I love dolls a lot, obviously, since before my diagnosis, my whole life. But after I was diagnosed, um, it really, well, let me back up. So, as a 10-year-old, of course, you're not really thinking long term in terms of actual parenthood or having a real life baby. But the older I got, when I did finally get into actual, reborns, not just, play dolls, it helped so much just to fill that void, that especially the first time I held, a weighted doll, like to have that feeling where, they do feel so real and just curling up in your arms, like it melted my heart. Like it gave me that feeling that I was looking for. I'm like, oh, this is what I wanted. Like I feel less lonely, I felt um like it gave me an outlet for that nurturing that I'm so anxious to give. I think all of us who do collect dolls of all kinds, we are all nurturers at heart. I think that's why we love to play so much. So it definitely helped, ease my depression, ease my anxiety, just having something to hold and cuddle and just make me feel less lonely.
Thank you again so, so much for answering that question. And yes, I agree. I remember holding a weighted reborn doll for the first time. I was like, "Oh, my heart, my soul, I was hooked.
I
Hooked, I
know.
tell you, hooked. I do not, for my viewers and for Christina's viewers, I do not live with Turner syndrome. I do have three children that I've given birth to that are still alive and well today. They are Z-Gen, they're in their early 20s. So yeah,
Babies, still babies.
they are still babies for sure. I have had well, two miscarriages, and had I known about reborns back then, I may have delved into that sooner. And so reborns have helped healed some sore spots in my soul of losing the two babies that I have lost. And I don't talk about
Oh,
that a whole lot, but and then also it kind of brings back all the memories of when my little when the ones that I do have when they were little brings back all those memories. But yes, so
oh, thank you, Dax, for sharing that too. So
you're
sorry. It's
welcome.
it's definitely a pain that, miscarriages in general are unfortunately so common. That yeah, I wish I could give a reborn to every single person who has dealt with that pain of infertility or miscarriages, because I'm glad they helped heal you as well.
Yes. And you also mentioned anxiety too, and that's another thing I live with is anxiety, and these dolls do help so much with that anxiety. Like I can just hold one to me. I am, for my viewers, I am getting ready to do a video sometime possibly this month. If not this month, definitely in December, about relaxation with your favorite dolls or your favorite doll. Whether you want to pick a couple or one or two, but that video will be coming up here soon. Again, if not this month, then definitely next month.
Can't wait.
Yay! So let's go ahead and go on with our questions here. What would you like our viewers to know, or what advice would you give to someone who is just finding out they have TS for the first time, or perhaps a viewer who is just finding out maybe they're a child, or as you said, some are being diagnosed as early as utero. So if they find this out, some advice that you can give to our fellow viewers?
Of course. So the first thing I would say is to not panic. It's so easy to, immediately go on WebMD and, do the whole thing we always do anytime we have a cold or a sneeze. It's a sign of cancer or it's a sign of this. Try not to panic. It can be very overwhelming. So I would say, give yourself that time first to just process, because there is such a wide range in a condition like TS. Understand that not everything you read is going to apply to you or your child, whatever the case may be. Not everything listed is going to be relevant, and to just not be afraid to ask questions. There are a lot of support groups and groups on Facebook. There is the official Turner Syndrome Society of the United States website, which has great resources. So definitely don't panic and don't be afraid to just reach out for support and for any questions, to not just rely on internet Google searches for your answers.
Thank you so much. And I'll be including any and all links that Christina would like to share, the websites that she has just mentioned, as well as any others. It's up to her which ones she would like to share and which ones not. But yes, I will be sharing any and all links that she says is okay to share with all of you guys. If you guys would like to do more research looking into for whatever reason. Let's see. Okay. A couple more questions here before we wrap up. Do you think there will ever be a cure for Turner syndrome? And I don't really like the word cure per se,
Right.
because the word cure to me implies that there's something deficient or wrong that needs to be corrected. And so it's not my favorite word to use. But for a lack of a better way to put it, do you think there will be something one day where people in the future will no longer have to face this or live with this?
Great question. Yeah, cure is definitely a tricky word. So because it is a genetic condition, at the cellular level, I don't think I don't think there'll ever be a day where, we'll be able to insert the missing X chromosome per se, in terms of that type of cure. But I will say, I do believe that there will be a time where the infertility, won't be an issue. In fact, right now, I have heard talkings of working on artificial wombs to help women, not just with TS, but any type of infertility, to help conceive. So that's really exciting. There's always being advances made in reproductive technology in general. So I do think that that will continue to get better and better. Um, Another aspect of TS that can uh, affect most of us is various heart issues. So I do think in terms of helping prevent aortic dissection, that's something we're particularly susceptible to. We do have to get checked, to make sure our aorta isn't getting enlarged, because that can happen if and when that does happen, it's a very dangerous, serious condition. So with technology helping to find those types of heart issues, um, women will definitely be able to live longer with TS. In general, I do want to point out, so TS does not have a shorter life expectancy in general compared to everyone else. We, for the most part, can and do live, average normal lives, but there are issues, again, with the heart that unfortunately have taken some of my friends in the past. And it does happen very unexpectedly. So I think technology is definitely going to really help with that as well, with heart issues as well as infertility.
That is extremely fascinating. I did not know about the work that you said about the uteruses that they are currently working on to help anyone and everyone with infertility issues, with TS or otherwise. So that is very, very fascinating. Another thing that kind of came to mind when you were talking about it being a chromosome disorder, and that's it's a lot more harder to hack genetics.
Right.
uh, I know Christopher Reeve was a big believer in stem cell research, so I'm just kind of,
Mm.
that is an area I did not dig into with Turner syndrome, but you better believe I'm interested in digging into it now. So after this, I might actually look into what stem cell research in Turner syndrome. Um, has there been any research with stem cell regarding Turner syndrome?
Yeah, I didn't
Uh,
think of that aspect. I'm interested as well. If you find anything, we'll have to compare notes.
for sure, I will let you know if I find anything. Okay, so let's see. And for another question I have here is for our viewers, how can people personally get involved? Like a person like me, how could I personally, or how can my viewers personally get involved with making a difference for Turner syndrome? Are there organizations that they can involved with? Is there a place for them to make donations for research? What what and where would you recommend people to go to make a difference should they be inspired to add to any kind of development with this?
Absolutely, and I hope viewers are inspired. The best place would be the official Turner Syndrome Society of the United States website, which I will give you the link for to make sure it's in the video. They have merchandise that you can donate. They have a lot of great resources. They also list different um, charity walks in local areas. We call them butterfly walks if someone does want to take part in that, if there is one in their local area. So, yes, the official Turner Syndrome website. We have a conference every summer that is so much fun. I volunteer every year with the youth program. So you can donate to that. And yeah, I hope this does raise at least some awareness and hopefully a little bit of funds for a great, great cause because they do wonderful, wonderful work.
Oh, that is fantastic to hear. I definitely want to look into it now and see if there is any kind of, as you said, like walks or marathons or anything like that, that maybe I could get involved with and help myself get out there and make a difference.
Thank
So
you.
yes, thank you so much. And the very last question I have for you today is where can my viewers personally find you? Go ahead and tell my audience and your audience as well, any and all links of social media, where you make content, where they can find you, where they can contact you, whatever you would like to share.
Absolutely. So, of course, YouTube, Cuddles by Christina. Um, I do have Instagram. I'm trying to get better about posting on Instagram, but you can definitely follow me, message me on there. I'm Cuddles by Christina one, which I'll link there as well for Instagram. You can find me on Facebook. I'm an open book. Does Facebook let you link? I don't know if Facebook lets you do that. But if not, if a link doesn't work, I'll just list my name on Facebook if anyone wants to reach out to me there. Um, I don't do the TikToks. I don't know the talkie ticks yet. I'm trying to learn. That's something we'll see if I get into in the future because I do know that there's a lot of reborn content on TikTok. But yeah, YouTube and Instagram and Facebook are where it's at.
Thank you so much. So thank you. I really appreciate this. Let's go ahead and show off our Maggies one more time.
Look how cute.
Here's
Oh,
the bell bottoms. Hers has
so
socks. I
adorable.
forgot socks, so there we go.
Yep. Well, because I the shoes she had on are just plain white. which I mean, which is fine for this, but I want to find better shoes. But yeah, I love this like pumpkiny color on her too. So cute.
Right? It looks so good. It looks
And don't
so
we look alike? We have the same eyes. Yeah.
You guys do. You guys
Yeah.
have closer eyes than I. Although I did want to get her because her face, unfortunately I don't have a picture to show you guys, but her face does look a lot like mine and my middle child. Nope, I don't have it. And my middle child's baby face.
Oh.
So when both of us when we were little, you can kind of see it. Just imagine me with chubbier cheeks.
Yeah.
I'll try to do that.
I see it. Yeah, for sure. Trying to get that little pout.
All right.
Yes.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for being my special guest today. I really enjoy twinning our Maggies.
Yes, we'll have to do it again. Send some more happy angel mail, some collabs. I love it. This was so much fun. Thank you so much for letting me share so much of my story and for raising awareness. Like it means a lot. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And also for my viewers, the junk journal that I did make for Christina, you better believe I did record a full flip through of it. So yeah, actually, if you go ahead and that very front part, pick out the green and blue thingies. Just slide those out. Oh wait, that was the very inside. Here, hold on. On the very front.
Oh, this. Oh, oh my goodness.
So I did a little bit of digging. I knew she loved theater, and so I asked you prior to making it, just out of curiosity.
Oh my god,
What
you're
are
so
some of your favorite theater productions? And she told me Wicked and Rent, and then I included the Les Mis because it's just extra. And there should
It's a
be a few
classic.
more little extra tickets in there too. Well, just one or two more of Les Mis and at least one more Wicked somewhere in that journal. But lots of
I
goodies,
love it.
stuff like that in the pockets too. So
Aw.
yes, guys. Well,
Thank
thank you so
you.
much to you. Thank you to all my viewers. Comment down below what you guys thought of this video. Have you ever heard of Turner Syndrome before? And yeah, so let us know below. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and ring the notification bell on both of our channels. And we will see you guys next time. Until then, have a doll-tastic day. Christina, would you like to do your outro?
Thank you so much. And I love you guys. I really appreciate your support. And I look for on my next video soon, sometime this week. But thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Bye.